Okay, it's your boy Kamal Hart, and we're on the charts. It's Thursday, November 21st, and we're going bar by bar. Um, Not gonna lie, today was a pretty difficult day for me. I think it was a little bit challenging in general, figuring out which way the market was going, but I definitely had some difficulty today. So we'll go over each and every one of those when they come up. So off the bat, this is kind of what I see, a trend line. It's crucial, you only have two touches on these lows, only two touches off these highs. So technically, this isn't like a confirmed trend. And so in that case, I'm gonna have to start looking here in the middle to see a leg, then a break, two legs, new high. So off the tops over here, we're starting at 605. Um, I'm kind of seeing these lower highs, and it's maybe a micro trend going down there. And that gives you a decent push. And here's where I took my first trade. Um, I hadn't refreshed all of my data when I started trading. Um, so the signals are kind of changing compared to what I saw when I was in session. But I can still break down this entry. The way I saw this trade was that we had a double bottom, and this would basically be the higher low entry. Pretty decent signal bar. Looking back on it, I can see that there was definitely this trend here and a break, and we needed maybe two legs. We haven't quite made a new low, but this is the first leg and it's pulling back, and there's probably a second leg coming. But it shows my marker over here, but I entered more on this bar because I watched it tick up and almost fill me and then start to tick back down. Um, yeah, it was just kind of as I took this trade too, something in my gut was like, that's a little early, but I went with it anyway. I think a big thing to notice is that when I was in and then I saw that the second entry short set up off here, first entry, second entry, I should have been looking to get out maybe a little bit sooner. And that was really crucial today, and I'll explain why on this next bar, because typically I would be out right there if this was a bad trade, but my internet connection cut, and so it was loading or buffering, whatever you want to call it, and by the time my connection reconnected, prices had already made this move, and I ended up getting out way down here. So off two contracts, I almost took an extra point loss, um, just off, the internet being off. So that was pretty frustrating to start my day off, not only with a losing trade, but then also a trade that kind of, like technology. I feel like technology was against me today. So that's how I started the day. That loss right there. But like I said, I would have seen this second entry short. It's a little risky to go short just because we're so close to this channel line. But we haven't had that many bounces anyway. But as I sat in this trade, I seriously was like, man, I should just reverse this trade. And that short side trade worked pretty well. But at this point, you have a move, a break, and two legs down. So now we need to play it by ear to see where prices will go next. And it's pushing down more, keeps pushing down. Here's our first sort of buy signal. And here's where all the impulse trades and mistakes begin. So off this low, I'm expecting a test of the EMA and maybe these highs. Off this high, which is higher than this high, first entry, second entry. So technically, you can make a case that, hey, you can go long there. But I also want to note that first of all, my entry is up here, so I'm 2 ticks off my entry. I needed to be entering at 3103.75 or 3104. I got in at 3104 and a quarter. And then with the context of this price move, it's too aggressive to be buying. I need to be finding reasons to get short. So, yeah, technically there's a little setup or whatever, but that's the wrong context. I shouldn't be looking for the long there. And no surprise, it reverses. Here, I was actually able to get in at a pretty good price, just below my signal bar, like usual. So I didn't lose more than I needed to there. But just to paint the picture for y'all, it's 641. And now I'm 2 trades in, both for losses. So not the typical day, so to speak, for me. A good thing to note here, although it might have been a little aggressive to take it, but once again, off this low, you get the second entry short right there. And that was a way better trade to take. That would have been a much, better trade. Okay, so you thought the mistakes were over and we're just getting started. So over here, I went long again off the basis of this is kind of a sideways move and we got a breakout with a strong bullish bar. Just an impulse trade. It's aggressive. It's not that good. It's not in my strategy. It's a position I shouldn't have taken. But at this point, I'm just wanting anything, just a little something to climb out of the red. And so I took that trade, and that wasn't a good decision. Once again, though, when I was trading it, the price action looked a little different. That's why my entry is in the middle of this bar. At the time, my entry was just like on a break above sort of thing. So I took that trade. Then we had the this pullback and then a move higher, and then I added on 2 ticks above. So once again, that's an entry error. I should have been in 1 tick lower, but either way, I added on right there because now we have the higher low after this move, and I'm expecting us to touch the EMA. It's not a good signal bar, so I probably shouldn't have added on. And because I'm already in the red on the day, adding on a trade just like increases my exposure a bunch. So it worked out. I was able to exit, but just bad trading. That's all I can really say. Just bad trading. So wasn't really I wasn't too happy with that. Not at all. But if we want to extend this channel, looks like we have something going on right in there. And this trend doesn't really serve us much. So we'll tone it down. Okay. And then we get some touches off these lows. So we got a little downward trend going on. That's what we should be playing. But at the time, I'm just like, oh, it's gonna bounce, and I don't know. I really don't even know what I was thinking, to be honest. So right here, actually, 1, 2, 3 trades. I only like to take 4 trades, less than 4 trades a day. So I'm at 3 if I consider this add-on in the same position. So I'm already kind of there for the day in terms of, hey, no more trading. Usually when I'm having a rough time, I need to be careful and limit. And then here is a second entry short off our trend line. And I had a different kind of mistake here because I tried to go short, but when I went short, I clicked buy bid. So I actually bought right there, and I was just like, oh my God. So I exited immediately. Once this thing ticked up just a little bit, I just exited. I wasn't going to even try to fool around. And good thing, because it doesn't leave much. Um, and in fact, that entry doesn't go far. I wonder from bottom. Yeah, 4 tick failure. I think when I originally traded it, it set up a little higher, but based off of this price action, that trade doesn't doesn't get it done. And in fact, when you scroll back, you get first entry, second entry, and it fails. So really, you could consider going long there. So I think all of that is to say that I kind of got lucky buying it here, kind of picking those bottoms and being able to get out. But the real trade was right here. That's where I should have actually bought if that's what I was going to do. And that one you get a little push. So I'm going to go ahead and make another channel. And then bring that one over. Let's see how this one plays out. That's the first entry. Now we're getting some stack up. In theory, what I want to see is a break, move to a new high, and then a break to these lows, something like that. Let's see which one happens first. We come down to test the lows. And then here's a failed second entry short. I have no idea if that works or not. I would say, because off this high, first entry, second entry, that might not be enough. Okay. Yeah, you could have sold that and got out with your scalp. That'd be the next trade I see. So yeah, you get the break, move to a new low. Here's a higher low, but we're just gonna wait. It starts to pull back. So at this part of the day, I'm starting to see these tops across here. So I'm thinking, okay, we're starting to get kind of congested. And, you know, I'm just going to sit on my hands and wait to see if something makes sense. I mean, and that's the biggest thing with price action trading, to me at least, is, you know, just wait until it makes sense. If you're trying to get a read and you're just like, man, nothing seems to be working, I have no idea where it's going, just wait. Just wait. Go for a walk. Just stop for the day, because you're going to do more damage forcing trades. You know, like the past few days have been relatively simple. If you start feeling like, oh, this is so complicated, walk away. Walk away. There'll be more chances to trade tomorrow and save your capital. One thing I see that I kind of missed in session is that, okay, if we have this range off this low, first entry, there's a second entry with a good signal bar, double bottom, or, you know, double top up there. If you would have seen that range in time, I would have considered going short there. That's a good trade to take. Yeah, that would have been a good one. I didn't really see it like that though. I really didn't see it like that during the day. So real time, I was just still kind of like, what's going on in here? So this one gives us a nice push down. And then we get these matching lows. It fails. Here's the failed second entry short, this bar, but too far. We're, you know, not a good place. And then here's where I bought. This is where I took my last trade. So at this point, I'm basically over trading, taking 5 trades, which is not too bad, but I really like to keep it under 4. So just off the strength of that, that's a mistake taking that trade. And then once again, it's like, it's not that great of a signal bar. Um, yeah, it's just not a great trade. And kind of pulls back. Then here's actually where I'm the most upset with all of my trades. This is where I probably made the most dangerous mistake, because I bought it here, and when I saw it pull back, in my head I was like, I think this is gonna bounce, so let me move my stop away from my signal bar, so that if it pulls back a little bit, I can still keep my trade. Which today it worked, but other days it won't, and you end up losing way, way more when it doesn't work than you gain when it does work. But here's kind of my thought process behind that bounce I was talking about, is that, we had a channel, and basically, I kind of like it better down here, but our measured range expansion area is going to be right here. So it's bouncing right off this range. So that's kind of what kept me in this trade thinking, we're going to have a false breakout and possibly a retest. We get it there. And then here I just scalp out. I did not want to fool around too much. So I just got out. And good for me, because it pulls back significantly. But here you get, well, off this low, this is just a higher low. So that's nothing. Yeah, and see, imagine I would have been long here, and it does a pullback like this. You give up way more money, messing with that. Right here though, off this high, first entry, second entry. So that's a second entry long. That actually reminded me. Let me turn off my notifications before someone texts me during the video. But a little buy right there, kind of aggressive. We're moving down, and there's a lot of strong price action down. So maybe this is too aggressive to take. But you would have been able to get out for sure. But you just the idea is that we have this channel, it breaks. In a way, there's one leg, two legs, and maybe a third leg somewhere in there. But off this high, it's a second entry high, breakout. So it's an okay place to go long. Now this one actually gets some buyers behind it, and that's good to see. So let's give this a line. Something like there. That little lip, first entry. A break above is a second entry, which happened right there. But see how congested we are? And then your signal bar is an inside bar, doji. It's not that great. It's not that great of a setup. And it works. Definitely worked. But on a day like today, it's risky. Let's move this over. Okay. Another thing I'm going to look for now is, let's get our measured move going. This could be leg one. And this could be leg two. Something up there. Nice turnaround. Higher low. And here's a lower high that's starting to close below. And then on a break below, we're not quite at these highs, but on a break below, you might want to go short. But we got to see what we get. Break, see, like right there. I'm down to go short there. Because what I'm seeing it is off this high, got the measured move off this high, first entry. None of these break below. And then if it breaks below here, you get that, and there you go. That one works out. And you still had to watch it go down, pull back, tick above, reverse. I mean, it was just real noisy, super noisy today. Hard to make good decisions and good trades. And so now we're kind of in the middle of this range we set up. So it's anyone's game in terms of is it going higher or lower. So I would just wait. One thing I'm looking at also while I wait is maybe there's something through there. So we'll see what that does when it gets down here. Good, it's bouncing off our trend. Just a first entry. Then here's the second entry, but it's an inside bar. Is there enough room? 25, 25. So there's not enough room to these lows either. It's a trade you should skip. And, right to those lows and bounces. I mean, it's crazy. That one gives you a push. So, you would have gotten stopped out if you would have took that short. But now, yeah, you just see this noise. I mean, today is just a prime example. I actually really, as difficult as it was in the beginning to kind of trade all this, I enjoy days like this because it allows me to test my discipline. And obviously it wasn't too good, but for the remainder of the day, kind of stay away from the charts and just watch on these days. Because it was a little tough to tell where this thing wanted to go ultimately. Do maybe a trend up here. At this point, off this low, we have the reversal pattern. So now we're going to see if we get a retest of that high. That's just a first entry, and this is like a double test, so nothing there. And that would have worked. That sucks. Okay, but now we're getting back in these highs. So let's see if, prices reverse any. And we get another push up. It'd be really interesting to see two things. I want to see if this leg measures up over here. That's about there. And then the second thing I want to see is if this leg measures up. Yeah, that one gets an exact move just about, and maybe a point and a half more. So we get a turn down again though, so now it's turning down, kind of where our range is. What I can do too is let's just get the big one in there. So now we got that bigger range going. So now we're trying to get short in there. Need like a reversal pattern, and like there's a reversal pattern. If you look at it, off this high, went higher, fails. Then we went higher again, and that failed. So we're going to go short there. This is a good setup, off the highs, trying to work it back down into the lows. Takes a little bit, but it finally gets you what you need. So at this point, we're just playing it, and it gets a big bounce. This bounce was like, it's kind of unexpected, to be completely honest. And then now we're breaking all these highs, so it's like, okay, so I guess we're not going down, you know? So we'll get a trend channel going up there. That's the higher low off this low. It's a decent signal bar, but we're kind of like, if you would have seen it, we're kind of close to that high. And although the daily highs are way up here, I don't know how I feel about buying up here away from the EMA and all that. And then a break above here is a failed second entry, but it's kind of that same principle where it's like, you know, should you trust trades up in here? And it doesn't even break above, so you wouldn't have had to trust it, luckily. Key to note that you kind of have a break and a move to a new high. It's not super convincing. This is more convincing to me, but this is definitely outside of our line. So this could be that new high, and this could be our reversal. It's crazy because that's actually 12 o'clock right there. Damn, that really stuck up on me. I mean, yeah, because up in here, I remember I just got back from the gym when this trade set up. And there wasn't much going on the rest of the day, you know. It was a lot of movement early on, but it was very confusing, just extremely confusing, especially in there. But yeah, today was just one of those days, you know. And that one keeps ticking. It's pretty late now. It's like 11:30, so there's nothing really. And right here, that's a failed second entry off the high. First entry failed. So maybe you go short there if it wasn't so late in the day. That gets you something nice. But it's good to note, more importantly, it's good to note that you see how the range works. We know we had these range lines back in over here, and it went to the low side, broke out, but it fails, goes to the high side, breaks out, fails, breaks out again, fails again. So that's why when we start getting all confused and it's hard to tell which way it's going, just get your range lines on the chart and then wait to get short at the highs and wait to buy at the longs. That's usually the best way. Things in the middle, those are sketch. Those would be sketch. But that's what I saw today. Today was a great learning day for me, definitely with trade management and just being a little more patient, especially if you take unexpected losses in the beginning of the day. I actually ended the day profitable, so I didn't even lose money today, but I definitely worked a lot harder than I had been the past couple weeks um, for my $7 today. But that's all I got. I'm gonna keep it short and get out of here. I'm gonna be back again tomorrow, Friday. Can't wait for Friday. Until then, see ya.